So not only is this the most brutally violent scene in the play thus far, it's also one of the most brutally violent scenes in all of Shakespeare. Because we don't just hear about Gloucester having his eyes ripped from his face. We see it on stage. Of course, just how gory the scene plays out is really the discretion of the director.
So before, Gloucester was metaphorically blind because he couldn't see Edmund's deception. Then Cornwall rips his eyes out, and now he's literally blind.
Yeah, talk about driving the point home, eh? Of course, this physical violence is made even more painful when Gloucester realizes he's wronged Edgar. It's as if his spiritual anguish compounds his physical pain. Yet, before Gloucester has his eyes ripped from his face, he delivers an incredibly passionate defense of his actions. He tells Regan, "I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh stick boarish fangs." "I sent him to Dover so you wouldn't rip his eyes out with your cruel nails," he said, "and so your vicious sister would stick her animal fangs in him." "If wolves had at thy gate howled that stern time, thou should have said, 'Good porter, turn the key, all cruels else subscribed, but I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.' If on that night wolves howled at the gate, even you would have let them in. But I shall one day see the vengeance of the heavens strike you and your sister," he says. Yet as Cornwall informs him, Gloucester will see no such thing. In fact, he will never see anything again. And now that you know that Gloucester ends up being blinded, it's interesting to go back and look at all the times Shakespeare mentions eyes and sight in this play. Even though it comes as a surprise, there are little hints sprinkled all throughout the play. Strangely, it is the nameless servant who has the last word in the scene. And like Lear, he and the rest of the servants are obsessed with the notion of justice. Like Lear, they wish that the wicked be punished, but they fear that they won't. The third servant says, "If she live long, and the end meet the old course of death, women will all turn to monsters." If Regan lives long enough to die of old age, then every woman on earth will become a monster. It's as if the servant says, if this woman goes unpunished, then the whole world is a monstrous hell where evil rules. As children, we always read stories in which the good are rewarded and the evil punished. But as we age, we learn, well, this isn't always the case. So the scene ends with two terrifying questions lingering in the air. Does justice even exist? And, if not, what kind of world is it that we live in?